My name is Michaela Smith and I am the Programme Manager at the Showroom Cinema. I manage a small team of people and we choose all of the films that you see on screens here and try and reach new audiences with them.
My name is Billy Barnell and I'm a Customer Service Assistant at the Showroom Cinema. Basically what CSAs do here is we maintain the cinema for the public and make it as nice and as pleasant for them to be in as possible. So one of the things I do is that I clean the screens, I sell tickets, we take bookings for customers over the phone and in person for films and also for table bookings in the bar.
Working in the film industry can be a lot of fun. It can also be quite stressful, but I personally find it very rewarding. It's a bit of a small world industry as well, particularly independent film. There are a few independent cinemas in the country, so cinemas that are not chains or multiplexes. And we've been able to get to know all of those people, we get to work together, and we also get to work with networks across Europe, which is really exciting. There's loads of really passionate people working in the sector who just love film and care really deeply about the future of cinema. Here at the showroom we have a really broad range of roles. So I work in the programming team and we focus on programming films and audience development, but it's a really big organisation, so even if you're not, if you want to work in a creative industry but you're not really passionate about film programming, then there's still lots of opportunities. We have people working front of house and we have people working in the bar, but we also have a finance team, we have cleaners, we have projectionists and a technician team who do a really interesting range of tech. So we have digital projectors, but we still screen on 35mm, very occasionally on 16mm as well. So if there are some film nerds that want to be behind the scenes, we have opportunities like that. We also have an events team, so sometimes we host weddings, conferences, all kinds of things. Then there's opportunities there. We're an educational charity, so we do a lot of work with schools as well. We also have a marketing team, and the marketing team work across film marketing. They market our events, they market our bar, and all of the food offerings. So they have a really broad range of skills and a lot to do.
Actually with here, you can't just, it wasn't a case of just going up to the reception and saying, oh, here's my CV, you're hiring. It was much more like, it was online. Then I was brought in for an interview. I was interviewed by these two supervisors who were very passionate about film, and one of the things they actually went out their way to do was to make me feel very comfortable, and they asked me all the technical questions, what experiences do you have any experience in hospitality and in that industry, but also they just asked me general questions like, oh, what kind of films do you like? And yeah, that was a really nice way of settling me into the, the interview process.
So when we're recruiting, I'd be looking for someone who's really friendly and really personable, that would be a really good team member, that could also work with a wide range of people. We have a lot of departments here, and if you work in one team, even if it's a small team, you're going to have to be able to collaborate with the finance team, with the marketing team, with front of house. Events can be quite unpredictable, so good communication is really key. In a new person, I'd also be looking for lots of excitement and passion for the role. I don't expect someone coming into a new role to know everything from day one. We'd just be looking for a real willingness to learn. We'd expect similar things to most organisations. We'd want them to come in on time and be presentable, and for them to try their best, essentially. But we can be flexible. We're a creative organisation, so we won't expect full business wear. And we also can be flexible with schedules and things like that. We can work around people that perhaps can't always work a very specific 9 to 5.
I think, the most obvious thing I like about my job as a cinema lover is that I get to see free films whenever I like, which is fantastic. It's been great, especially here at the showroom. We show a lot of independent films, foreign language films, classic films that, places like Cineworld and the Odeon just don't bother putting on. So it's really, really good. If you're a film fan, it's terrific working at a cinema, especially an independent one like this.
The thing I love about my job most is when I'm able to champion and get behind a film that I really, really love, but that perhaps hasn't had much marketing, or people don't really know about, and run an event around it that then is really successful, that leads to lots and lots of people talking about the film and sharing in the film. We often get to host Q&As as well, so we have film directors from all over coming in, and that's always really, really exciting to get a bit of behind the scenes information and hear a little bit more about the films.
I think it's really helped me. I don't know if this is an outlook, but in terms of just how I feel about work, because for a long time I was very nervous about the world of work and sort of and what it would be like to work for hold down a job for a long time in, say, hospitality or in another industry, and working here has really sort of put to rest a lot of those fears, because not only is it a great place to work, but just sort of being in this environment for the length of time that I have been in it for has really helped me overcome a lot of those anxieties I had. The fact that I was able to say on my CV and in the interview as well that I'd had experience cashing up a shop by myself, I'd had experience opening up and shutting a shop by myself and running a shop entirely by myself, was hugely helpful in terms of getting the job here, because even though I'm not necessarily performing those duties here in my current role, there's certainly transferable skills in that sense of responsibility, being able to take responsibility for myself and my environment.
I'd suggest trying to get as involved as you can with anything that's going on locally. So if you have a local independent cinema or even a community cinema, I started with community cinemas that you can volunteer with, or that you could write for, or if you can write blogs independently. There aren't necessarily specific qualifications that you need to come into the film industry, but if you can show a real keen interest and a passion for sharing films and sharing cinema, then it's a good way to get your foot in the door. If you want to find out more about different ways that you can get involved, it's always good to keep up to date with cinemas' websites, but I would recommend signing up to their mailing lists and also checking social media. We post a lot about opportunities like our BFI Film Academies and the things we're doing with Film Hub on our social medias, so make sure you give those a follow and keep checking.